Tinderet Member of Parliament Henry Kosgei is back in cabinet as Industrialization Minister. A statement from the Presidential Press Service says Kosgei resumes his duties immediately. The Tinderet Member of Parliament, who is also the national chairman of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, was removed from cabinet when he was charged with abuse of office for allegedly allowing the importation of overage vehicles. The charges were eventually dismissed last month. Elsewhere, former President Daniel Arap Moi has instructed his lawyers to appeal before the Supreme Court, a ruling made by the Court of Appeal directing him to return 110 acres of land to Malcolm Bell, who is a large-scale farmer. In its ruling, the Appellate Court gave the former president 6 months to revert ownership to Bell after it overruled a 2005 verdict by High Court Judge Muga Apondi on the basis that the decision was not founded on key and core issues pertaining to the case. And back in Nairobi County, the Ministry of Energy and the government of Southern Sudan have finalized plans to begin the construction of a pipeline from Southern Sudan to the port of Lamu. The 252 billion shilling oil pipeline, which is part of the Lamu Port Southern Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor LAPSET, will enable South Sudan to export over 1 million barrels of oil per day, with Kenya also set to utilize the pipeline to evacuate oil from Turkana County's Ngamia 1 well if it is found to be commercially viable. And finally, former Ghanaian President John Atta has been laid to rest as tens of thousands of Ghanaians poured out into Accra's Independence Square to pay homage to a man described as an African statesman. Ghanaians donned in mourning attire were joined by traditional chiefs from all over Ghana, conspicuously dressed in colorful traditional dresses. In attendance were 18 African heads of state and government, including Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete, Nigeria's Goodluck Jonathan, South Africa's Jacob Zuma, and Liberia's Ellen Sirleaf, as well as U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, while Kenya was represented by Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka. Born John Evans Atta Mills is a former vice president who died on the 24th of July. He twice failed to win the presidency in the year 2000 and later in the 2004 elections before finally fulfilling his dream in 2008 via a runoff. The current president John Dramani Mahama hailed his predecessor as a good man of God, father of the nation and a true son of Africa. Mills had long suffered from throat cancer and died only 5 months before he was set to seek re-election. The president's body has been taken for burial in a bird sanctuary next to the seat of government in the 17th century Fort Christiansburg, also known as Owuso Castle, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. He leaves behind his wife Ernestina Nadu Mills, a trained marriage counselor, and their son Sammy Kofi Atta Mills. Henry Gadaiga, Citizen Weekend.